Alright, gonna be a short one, relatively speaking. We ain't going to no midnight stream or anything here today. I have a place to be later, probably. I should figure that out at some point if I do actually have a place to be later, but that'll be something we figure out in about an hour from now, maybe. So, sloth bears. No, Andean bears? Is that what it was? Yeah. Sloth bears are it, right? Hey Lee, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. Okay. So those are all named. Alright. So 2 bears. Gotta figure out what their actual exhibit's supposed to look like, though. Oh, they also maybe actually have cubs. Well, as of a couple years ago. How early late is it my time? It is 6:30. 6:30 in the evening. Rien and Quito. Interesting. Trying to figure out. Probably the last JWE3 video for a while. Yeah, maybe. We'll see. It really depends. We could have a DLC coming out soon. Or we could not. It's a complete mystery, right? How many bears are in this zoo? I'm going to guess these ones aren't here anymore, maybe. Hmm. Something's going on with Frontier and I'll be able to update, post anything about the game. Yeah, it's really weird. I don't know why they don't do a status update. Like, this whole issue, all the people being really mad about the lack of a dinosaur this month, they could have headed this off and they would have said something a week ago. But the fact that they wait till the last day to say anything, and all they just say is that, like, it's not coming, that's just gonna piss people off. Like, it's not complicated. Just communicate a little bit and people will give you some leeway, but they don't do that. They don't tell us anything. I think I'm just going to go with the 2 bears we have on the main page. And it's hard to evaluate what this exhibit looks like. Yeah, they haven't done much to like earn leeway from people. So when they fuck up, people just kind of go for the throat, right? Like, if you promise a monthly animal release, you better be fully prepared to always make that. And it's not like they failed to make it, you know, years down the line. Like, this is what? Like, the 5th month or something for this? How many did we have? We had Kentro, Amard, Cryo. This is like the 6th one or something, maybe, right? Okay, here's some pictures. It's kind of like a big... There's like a bunch of rocks and logs and kind of just a bit of an open area. Oh, I can't tell which pictures here are for which exhibits. It's not very useful. Okay, that's the Andean bear exhibit. So it looks like there's a big concrete moat. And then just kind of, okay, like a rock-ringed open area. Yeah, they didn't even say that, like, it's delayed a week or it's delayed until next month. They just said it's not coming this month. Which, are they just skipping April altogether? Like, what the hell? Their statement just adds more confusion to the pile. Like, it just feels like they only said something because they pretty much had to. Which is just annoying. Yeah, PK is looking great. Every PK update is just making me more and more psyched for PK. Yeah, and it was on just the Discord. Yeah, like nothing anywhere else. Just like a random Discord message. Terrible, horrible. Okay, so the Andean bears go somewhere. Okay, they're there. They're kind of directly in line with, like, Lemur Island. So, like, right here. Given the lack of space we have in general, it's probably going to be all we can do anyway. Like, you know, I have a Discord. I use Discord. I hate how much information has just gone to only being on Discord. It's very annoying. I like, spent some time doing modding and stuff on games, not just this game. And, like, people putting their mods up on just, like, random Discord servers now instead of on, like, a central repository. All that shit just drives me insane. I hate it so much. Nothing will make me more mad than having to join somebody's stupid goddamn Discord server so that I get information on, like, a mod or a project. That shit just pisses me off. Alright. I miss when you could just search shit on the internet and you would just find links to it. You wouldn't have to find a link to a Discord server that like maybe contains the information you need. And even if it does contain the information, it's buried under piles of random shit. Aggravating. Not to mention companies just starting to rely on it as a just an avenue for sharing any information, just like Frontier's doing. Yeah, there's just been no like meaningful fixes or changes to the game at all. It's pretty disappointing. Hey, Kuma, welcome to the stream. Okay, so Andy and Bears back behind this exhibit. We move the crate cats back behind. Thank you for the follow as well. Appreciate it. We have enough room for like one more exhibit if we want to put it in to the south. Although that it's not really anything relevant that goes there. I could do Amazonia. Maybe that's what I do. Maybe we like compress Amazonia into here. I don't even have lagoons unlocked. But if we are going to put an like dunks in to represent some of the Amazonian fish species they have, we could put those in like here. Then the Andean bears can get tucked in back here maybe. Because the bears should be on the outside of like a path that loops over to the elephant thing here. So how do we connect this up? How do I put in path that makes any sense? So the trail would be... I guess basically I would have to like run a trail through here. It should kind of... link up over here somewhere maybe. Something like that. You can just kind of follow the hillside, I guess. I don't even have a particular, like, idea of what the dunks would be beyond generically fish. So this trail just kind of, like, winds its way around. And then there's, like, kind of a cross point behind the island. So, like, we could do a pathway through here. Let's do... I'm going to kill this repeater, I think. Maybe we just keep this kind of elevated here a little bit. So, kind of just comes out in a big loop. So maybe we just have this continue more or less straight. And kind of loops. But then it kind of just merges over to this other like pathway, which kind of just keeps going like this or something. Something like that. Not feeling the best. You've been throwing up at Guma? Well, that's rough. Hopefully you'll feel better. One link of fence was flashing for a second there. Oh, maybe the power being cut was doing something weird. Okay, I have no repeater connections close enough. Let's maybe sneak him through over here. Nope, can't get it close enough either. Or on the outside, I guess. Alright. So, if I do this as the path, there should basically be a cafe where these link up. And then the bears would be back here. And that's kind of how we have to do it. So this should be the Seal Rock Cafe. So like we'll do like a medium food. Oops, it is small. I guess the question would be if any particular building lends itself to feeling like it belongs better than anything else. I guess we'll just use this one. Do I have a personal worst Pokemon battle I've had in my memory? I have like multiple worst Pokemon battles. Hard to pick just one. Yeah, there's not really like a singular one that stands out, I guess, thinking about it. I've had too many awful ones that like no singular one actually comes out as being memorable. There's definitely been some stinkers in the current game I'm playing, but that's because the game is so staggeringly difficult that like there's just going to be some really bad rounds. It's just going to happen. Okay, so let's get this little side branch. That's our little bear. Our Seal Rock Cafe. Let's name this. Even though there's no, whoops, no seals. You made a worse one just this week in a fan game. You get some stuff killed. So if I'm approximating very crudely the paths, which I am doing very crudely, there's kind of some very angular paths here, so maybe that's the thing to do. Amazonia should be on the interior of the pathway. So I guess I should swing the path out by maybe the cliff edge here. Something like that. And we put the lagoon in here, I guess. And go from there. Maybe then we get the lagoon in and then we finish the path around it. Okay, so we should have like a concrete moat and then like a raised island, basically. And that's how this exhibit should work. with kind of like a raised rock wall along the back. So let's try and do maybe like a natural cliff here. I could just keep it level with that, maybe. Maybe that's better. Use that at same height. Just for a little bit of cohesive feel to what's happening here. That is getting weird on that side for sure. Let's do a little fence extension off of here. This is where we can put in our gate, and then we can just ignore the rest of this, actually. Why does it do it like that? Oh, because the fence is there. It's reacting weirdly to the fence being positioned. There. Maybe I should just do like boulder wastes. I think that'll work for a back wall. It's not that bad. If only lagoons weren't so awkward. Yeah, they're awful. It's just, it's not good. Level 15 Wimpod versus 25 Gloom. That is that's a matchup. Maybe we can just cut it across like this, kind of directly in line with it. What is this rock doing? Look at this shit. Terrible. Alright, well that rock is not going to be anything good. I didn't mean to put sand down there. Okay. That rock I can live with, I think. That's a weird one too, but yeah, the giant floating rock of doom. Okay. Presumably this will block. Oh, it'll remove the rock. Well, never mind. Okay. Maybe the gate should be in the back somewhere. After 70 turns, she finally runs out of PP to struggle. That sounds about right. That's why I don't use healing items. Then you just lose earlier and you get it done with. I think the moat would be cool. I want to get the moat in. I definitely want to do this. So let's redo this. Let's not put in a fence at all. We're going to try this moat. I guess I got to make sure actually first I get enough deep water in here to kind of make this function. Maybe. We might have some problems with this enclosure. This might work. Okay. So maybe I do a little ramp. Up here. I don't think that's, yeah, that's being still a little weird on the ramp generation. Okay, maybe that'll work. That might be traversable with a Jeep. Hey, I mean, if you win, a win's a win. Like, take it, right? Gate overlay again. I will say, getting the gate overlay incorrectly is maybe not the easiest thing. Okay, that seems pretty good. We'll just put some more rocks in over here to finish up the The gap. Is income tax enabled in this playthrough? Yes. Not only is it enabled, it's modded and cranked up to 95%. And it still doesn't matter. The game is still too easy. Which makes me wonder if income tax is even being properly applied. I kind of want to try a park build with like 100% income tax, which theoretically should mean we make no money, and just see what happens. I'm starting to think that like some of the income's not actually taxed properly. Although I don't actually know if that's the case, but... Okay. Obviously, the rock we use for this is a different one, but whatever. This is just artificial rock. It's fine. Yeah, actually, let's look at the numbers. Yeah, because, like, the income tax, I think, is only applying to, like, maybe... Let's figure it out. Where do we get this actual number? Income tax is 700K. Amenity income 696. Guest income 339. Do those numbers make any sense? That looks like 70%. Maybe this reset with one update and I didn't change it back. We were playing with 90% at least for a while. Because I assume this is tickets, essentially. Well, I'd have to check. I'd have to crack open the files and make sure the income tax change is actually still installed, and I don't know if it is. It might not be, judging by those numbers. That looks a lot like 70%, but... Yeah, that looks like just it probably isn't installed anymore. It probably got bumped by an update and I never put it back in. Yeah, I will someday want to do the whole fix for the economy, but I've kind of just given up on the idea of doing that anytime soon. Okay, so we'll make a trench. And then like line it with concrete or something on both sides. Let's see here. Maybe we use this, but we take off the fence parts. Actually, if we had this the right depth, this would work pretty well. Because we could get the bottom part in there too. In fact, if I just make this a arbitrarily deep trench, it doesn't even need to be consistent, because the concrete floor of the decorative object can fill it in. Let's see here. Oh. Could be one Pokemon, depending on the Pokemon, maybe. I don't know. The meaningless thing to discuss. The power scaling between reality and Pokemon are not consistent. Oh, this just highlights. Yeah, I have to do. Okay, we do this. Really want to make a blueprint. I want this to be merged. Well, now it just doesn't do anything. Very cool. Alright, never mind. Trying to just delete all the wiring up top quickly and efficiently, but it doesn't really like me doing that. Alright, this is just too fucking hard to highlight properly. I'm going in manual. Yeah, power scaling discussions on the internet tend to aggravate me because they're so pointless and futile and opinionistic. It's just like, do we not have anything better to discuss in a fandom than, like, who's more powerful than what? It aggravates me even more when it's, like, cross-franchise. Like, I see Reddit posts all the time about, like, could Goku beat a character from Invincible? And it's like, they're not even following the same fucking rules. These fictional universes operate under completely different logic. This is meaningless. Why is that light not part of this group? I don't understand. Well, we here on the channel are pro-LGBTQ, etc., all of the above. Okay, so we've deleted the wiring. Now, if I do, no, let's just leave that here. Let's duplicate this. Then we do a granular rotation. And we rotate it around. And then we slide it. Ta-da, a moat. I think we want to keep it narrow. So actually, maybe we keep it really narrow. Maybe I just do like this. We'll make it like one width. But then maybe this is actually worth making a blueprint of overall. Tropius could beat an infant or infinite amount of opponents in a Pokemon battle. Blueprint. Create new moat. 1, 2, 3, 4. Create blueprint. Okay. Nope. Okay. So we get this to ground level. We get this roughly aligned. Actually, let's align it just with like the viewing gallery, and then we can readjust the terrain maybe. Oh yeah, this is still granular rotation. Okay, so that's close. Maybe? Sure. Stone Troodon? What is this? That looks pretty good, I think. Stoned Troodon. That makes more sense. Okay, so that is pretty good on the one side. There's a gap, more prominent gap here. Sure. Okay. So that ends up filling in the gap a lot. So what if we don't have the water as close? Maybe we can just flatten normally. And have it be a little steeper? Okay, that works. What's my opinion on the recent red button, blue button debate? I have no idea what this is. You're speaking another language. I have no clue. Okay, that's a pretty good little moat, I would say. I do notice that this edge and this edge are probably different heights. So the question becomes, do I do something about that? Or will it make everything weird? The answer is it'll make everything weird. Wait, maybe? Okay. I don't even remember if Ostro needs deep water, actually, now that I think about it. Yeah, at least the soundtrack is one area of the game that doesn't have any problems with it, right? They are... Oh, they're just regular wet water and fish. So I don't even need the deep. Do they swim in the deep water? I don't remember. Or do they just not interact with it at all? It's been a little while since we had these guys in the park. Actually, what else did they need for environmental stuff? Actually, let's just get this, let's just get them in. Let's just do it that way. It's better. We need to power this, though. Osher does not swim. Okay. In which case, we're better off just going with regular water. Can I just... yeah. Okay. I think we'll start an episode. You and everyone on Earth are made to privately press one of two buttons. More people press blue, everyone lives there. Oh, I saw a meme about this. I didn't realize that's what this was about. More press red, only red lives. Which do you pick? This is just game theory stuff. There's a correct solution, which is... I think it's... you just supposed to hit blue, right? Yeah, the moat is to keep them contained, but also the bears have like this moat in their actual exhibit, which is why we did it here. Oh my god, camera. What is the camera doing? It gets like... the fuck? So the camera gets like sucked into the hole. For some reason. Okay, there we go. Welcome back to what is assuredly the final episode of the Smithsonian Park build. We have a new path coming off of this little elephant observation area. This would be where the American Trail is in the Smithsonian Zoo. And then over here would be Amazonia. So basically it goes like South America into North American animals. We're not going to put many of these in at all. Mostly because we don't have space, but also because there's not particularly amazing options for these. It's a lot of smaller animals. We'll probably put in a lagoon over here to represent Amazonia. And then we're getting, of course, our Andean bears, which are going in here. The actual bear exhibit, you're going to go watch the new Avatar movie? All right, catch you later. Have fun. I still haven't watched that one. I kind of really lost interest in that. But yeah, this little Andean bear exhibit kind of has this like moat, which we've done here with the modular concrete wall piece that we've been using. Just like mirroring it over itself, getting rid of the fence on top. And then there's kind of just this like rock-walled enclosure kind of back in behind it. So this is a very rough approximation of that, using, of course, my little decorative gate cover so that we can have a nice little gate entrance here for the Jeep coming down from up by the aviary. And this should work well enough for what this exhibit needs to be. Of course, it comes down to whether or not the animals are happy and can thrive in it. So on that note, 2 Osteraptors is what we're looking for. I did see on the webpage that they had baby Andean bears back in 2022, born to a different mother than one of the bears that's listed on the page currently. I'm not sure if these bears are still in the park. It's possible that this was a separate breeding group, and then now the 2 bears in the park are a new batch, to try and like breed more of them or something, right? Like, because the I think it was the mother. The father's the same as the male bear currently in the park, and then the mother for the 2022 cubs was different than the current female in the park, right? So they may be trying to like do another round of breeding or something currently. So I think I'm not going to introduce the juveniles. I'm going to go with the 2 current ones that seem to be in the park. You have a lot of traits. Intolerant actually doesn't really matter, so we could do... Sure, we'll do this. 1 male, 1 female for Andean bears. And we'll toss those in. Make sure they're going to fit, and then we can go from there on cutting it down and making more space for other stuff, or putting something else in the park. We need to get lagoons going, so lagoon hatchery. For probably Dunk to just generically stand in for some unspecified amount of fish. And then, yeah, we're kind of done. Like, we got the big big cat area, the lions and tigers sorted out. Although that, of course, should be over here, but, like, we're going to be pretty well compressed on space by the time we get 2 more exhibits in here, which should be about right to get us to close to 5 stars with base game appeal. And maybe we find a place to put in a few more animals if we don't quite make that. All right, there's the lagoon hatchery done. So I guess what we do here... it's bigger. It's always bigger than I remember. Like, every time I think about the lagoon, I'm like, it's not that big, right? And then it's always just the biggest goddamn thing you've ever laid eyes on. Okay, so next question becomes, how many dunks can we fit in a 1-tile lagoon? That's without even the hatchery. Big yikes. I hate trying to, like, put a lagoon in when you're compressed for space, because it's so hard to, like, judge where you're going to want everything else to be positioned. Like, if I have an arrow there... Yeah. I can just put that there. That's probably about the best I'm going to get. Sure. Then we'll need a ranger station. Probably has to go in here. Maybe I should just get this sorted out first before I put this in. Figure out how much water they need and build from there. That's probably the way to do it. We'll slap you down here. Now, I guess the question would be, if we can't fit a dunk in the single-tile lagoon, and if we expand it... Yeah, I can't expand it anywhere. Well, I guess we'll just try it. Who knows if it'll work. Do we start with dunk unlocked, or do we have to research this separately? Alright, dunk is here. 1 Dunkachino, locking it in. Alright. Yeah. You looking to build a lagoon? We're gonna make it just the worst. Just the shittiest shit you ever shitted.
Heading to collect the asset.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to welcome an Austroraptor to the park.
Alright, Mr. Dunk, where are you? Am I misremembering where Dunk is from? No, it's over here. Okay.
Asset transportation in progress.
You need a ton more wetland. They're going to run out of pasture, though. So maybe the pasture in the front... Why can I not... Why has this got to remain a green patch? What is that about? The fuck? Okay. Weird. Weird.
Confirming asset delivery.
Okay, they have more water than they need by far. Love to stay, but gotta sleep soon. Alright, we'll catch you later. Thanks for coming on by. Alright, exhibit is pretty cramped, but I think it'll work here. Actually, they don't need nearly as much water as I was kind of thinking. Yeah, they're super fine. Okay, great, cool. How about a little more cypress swamp to fill in some of this shite? Actually, if we scatter maybe more of the cypress trees around, it looks a little bit more like something. Well, I guess that's kind of it. That kind of does it. There's not much else for space, but it's a functional exhibit. Needs a few more embellishments, like up front, probably. Like some enrichment type stuff, maybe. Let's look at the names of these guys. So, we have Meet the Animals, Andy and Bear, Quito and Suyana. So you are the female, you are Suyana, and you are Quito. Okay. And these guys were 250 more appeal, getting us up to 500 away. Okay. And there's some dunk that I dug up. Thank you for the subscription on YouTube, Banshee Ghost. I appreciate it. 556 processed. Back for more. All right. So, we need like a climbing rig. Let's go to the workshop. Let's just search like climb. Big cat climb. So that's basically another riff on the same stuff we've been using. Oops. That's underwhelming. Let's sort by rating. So this is the Evo Square one that a lot of other people have based things off of. We've seen that one cloned all over the place. Simple table climbing enrichment. Okay, this one's different with some like platforms. Ooh. It's another moat somebody's made. I wonder... It looks a little janky and like with a whip. Might take a look at that. Alright. Got a few things. I need to clean this up. This is a nightmare. Oh, okay. That's why it looks janky, because it is just a single section of moat. So you have to place them all in individually. Which is about what I expected anyway. This is something with climb in the title. Oh yeah, I forgot about this little thing. Did I do this anywhere? Well, don't know where I would put it anyway. Okay, none of those are the new one. What actually was in the title of the new one? I don't know. Dinosaur enrichment climbing structure. No, that's the old one. This one? Yeah, climbing enrichment. Why did that not come up? Wait, was it actually not installed? Yeah, I think I installed one of the other ones instead. Okay. Very large, but... Actually, it running like over the water is maybe not the worst idea. Okay, it's like very, very tall. It feels like dangerously tall. You can sink it down further. And then move it like landward. Maybe that's good. Okay. Still happy. Great. Okay. Another thing I was thinking of with enrichment stuff was, did we put any enrichment stuff in these other pens over here? Because we had a bunch in here. Yeah, I haven't put any in here. Okay, a little bit of treats. We got balls. Then there were scratching posts too. Viewing galleries. Do we have a marine viewing gallery? No. Might as well grab a lagoon viewing gallery. Maybe we try to find some sort of more like structured looking lagoon viewing gallery, something that feels like an interior like show house or whatever. Because the Amazonia is like, you know, actually a building you enter. It's not like, obviously not an outdoor pool with a bunch of exotic fish in it in the east coast of the US. We put in a little climbing rack in here, you know, to sell the bear vibe some more. This like raised edge looks a little weird, doesn't it? Maybe we bring this over a little bit further. So it's not like right on the waterfront. I like that she sat down right in the puddle. Sorry, I'm gonna delete your puddle because I don't like there just being like a random little one tiny little puddle here. There. No more puddle for you, I'm sorry. Yeah, I think that works. This like platform being on ground level, I think is fine too for like this whole thing. This whole structure is actually much larger. I just sunk it down more so it didn't feel like they would, you know, climb up to the top, fall off, and die from fall damage, which would not be conducive to a healthy zoo environment. 69 and 31 is done. Okay, so then we get these. We can attempt to breed these pretty soon and see if they're even going to work in the park. Did I accidentally resize the window there? No, we're good. Okay.
Confirming task.
Is this not in range? The other ones are good. Weird. Alright, Ranger Station, we can probably just tuck one in, like in here.
Confirming task.
Lagoon viewing platform. There's a fancy Evo Square one. Shark tunnels. Canopy Lagoon viewing gallery. I guess it's got a roof on kind of over part of it. Oh, that's fun. Modern aquarium. Bingo. That's the kind of thing I'm looking for. Oh, hatchery. Wait, hatchery viewing gallery restroom. This is like a whole giant fucking thing. Oh yeah, it is. Holy shit. How does this even work? Oh, it probably staples to the side of a 2-tile lagoon, I would guess. Yeah, it doesn't work for what I want. It's actually perfect. It just doesn't work. It's too much. I could try chopping it up. A viewing stadium. Like, there's a few different things that are kind of what I'm looking for, but they're all just a smidge too much. Okay, this one's encased. Lots of glass and an open side. I don't want an open side. I want something that feels like it's an interior building. Minimalist aquarium. I think I'm okay with that. How do I make this work? We do this. Yeah. There we go. And how do these link up in the real park? The one road kind of... Okay, there's like a hard L, basically. So I could do like this. And this kind of just continues to like a different exit from the park, more or less. maybe I put it over here like this. Feel that for a second. How did I do this correctly the other way? I guess we did it. I could just do it something like this. This is just a fork. Where the one goes out the other way and this other one goes this way. Yeah. Maybe that's better. Oops. Okay. All right, sure. There should be the main grill and a bathroom near Amazonia.
Ladies and gentlemen, our restroom is...
Medium amenity over here was the Zoo Deli. The one up on the hill is the Panda Overlook Cafe. It'll be the Chungking Overlook Cafe. Yeah, we should redo all these. This should be the Big Raptor gift shop. There we go. What a seal be better described as. Maybe we just leave that one alone since there's no seal analog in the park. Seal Rock Zoo Deli, Reptile Discovery Center has some food thing near it, but it's not really marked. There is a medical thing near here, which could probably be this shelter. Other amenities we can label. Panda Plaza. That's over here. That is this. All right, well, the dunks being ready, I think we're just gonna like, why don't we just randomize these? I think that's fine because they would represent a variety of fish, much like we did with the pterosaurs. Also, don't know how many of these we can even have in the park, so we'll probably just end up hatching a bunch of them and then filling them off one by one until they're comfortable, if they ever can be comfortable. So this is how I've approximated the paths. We have like the main artery here that we kind of had to truncate that exits out the south of the park into like another parking lot back into, you know, DC proper. We very much compressed everything south of Lemur Island. That's the word. I couldn't think of the word lemur. Very much everything south of here is heavily compressed. We've gone ahead and put in these various shops and cafes and named them all properly now too. Steel Rock Zoo Deli. We've got the Panda Overlook Cafe, except it's the Chungking Overlook Cafe. And yeah, there's kind of like a hard, kind of almost an L here in the way the paths like connect up. So we've just kind of approximated all that, crammed it all together here, and it just kind of is going to have to work. Really all we can currently do. That's a storm coming in, eh? Okay. Well, perfect timing, I guess. One more storm. What's one more storm between friends? All right, 3 of these guys. They are all aggressive and short-lived. That's fine. Did we not randomize? I think I didn't actually randomize. Well, whatever. Fuck. God damn it. Sure. It's fine. They're fish. You don't know what color a fish is. It's in the water. It's all bluish. Oh, are we, we're in a bad storm, huh? Better sedate the, raptors. And, grab the other facility here and sedate the other raptors. Fence broken. Over here. Hurry, please. One out. Got an ostrich on the loose. Medical. Are you actually doing anything? You're already all the way over here. You might as well get the Maya then. There. Okay. Okay, that's resolved. Storm is ending. Alright. Fish. One fish. Which is going to have to shave off even more space on this lagoon, unfortunately, making it even smaller and awkwarder. Yes, that's right. More awkwarder. Man, no matter where I put this, it doesn't even feel right. Alright. Can we at least keep one dunk? That'd be great, if we can at least fit one dunk in here. Feeder needs resupply. Why is that not getting properly taken care of? Asking real questions. It's the same goddamn feeder. Oh wait, this guy is on the way. Why did this take so long? I feel like this feeder's bugging the fuck out. 25. It is being fully filled up, so that's not the problem. Weird. Well, whatever. He can get to it automatically. He's just shit at it for some reason. Alright, 70% comfort is actually kind of better than I expected, maybe. Oh, but they don't have any actual data. Never mind. Never mind. It's nothing. It's meaningless. Meaningless information. Alright. Alright, I'll be right back, and then we'll continue. 88%. Oops. All right. Finally. So I think the females are more interested than the males, if anything. So we won't be at the appeal total we need yet. It looks like. Wait, how much is a dunk, actually? 178.
Transporting asset.
Oh yeah, my maintenance is like super fucked. Actually, I might need a new maintenance team. Hey, Mutasaurus, how's it going? Alright, there's some maintenance to take some of the pressure off the other maintenance guys. 100% comfort on the dunks. We can keep 2. 2 dunks is enough to be kept in this dinky little lagoon. Let's wake them up, even though they look like they're already dead, just floating on the surface of the water. That's no way for a fish to be. My camera is stuck in the lagoon. Okay, there we go. So we kept 1 male and 1 female. I am once again stuck in the lagoon. Why is the lagoon a black hole that the camera cannot escape from? There we go. It's like it was trying to back out through the concrete wall or something and just got completely trapped. That's very funny. So, if these guys are woken up, how close are we to complete? 10, 8, 7, 7, 11, 500. Really? Still that far off, huh? Damn. Dunks are stand-ins for the Amazonia exhibit, which is just kind of a bunch of like South American Amazonian fish and stuff like that. So this is kind of our stand-in for the whole Amazonian sector. Well, I still need animals, technically. Where are we going to get more animals? Who can we possibly put in? We have a little spot here we could try to use for something small. This would be somewhere in the American Trail. Let me look at my notes. Red Wolf. That's probably the only other thing we could do would be the Red Wolf. So let's see how many wolves there are, maybe. Two red wolves, Kiowa and Redford. One male, one female. They are on the American Trail. That does put them right between the Andean Bears and the Elephant Outpost. This would be where they would be. So maybe we can squeeze in an exhibit like here. Like along this section of fence. Or a section of path, I mean. Okay, got it. I think we have to maybe go somewhere further like this. Really doesn't want me to be able to connect this. Oh, wait. Okay, we got it. So the question becomes, how much space do we need? And how do I want to make said space? Okay. And then maybe we cut this across here. And then we have a good section to put a gate into. Alright, the Red Wolf. Can I figure out anything about what their actual exhibit looks like? Not really. All right, I think we'll just put them in there. All right, we need at least one more animal in this park. We're gonna do Red Wolf. It's gonna be Deinonychus is the stand-in. As they are reddish. There are 2 of them. They're gonna go here on the America Trail part of the park. I think this can probably accommodate 2 of these guys. At least I certainly hope it'll work. And if it doesn't, well, then we'll have to figure out something else. But maybe we can expand it if it doesn't work, because we do have a decent amount of room here. I don't think it should be too bad. Their exhibit doesn't look like too much, so I'm not too sure what I want to do to decorate it. Hard to get some much detail on some of the smaller exhibits in the park as well, as they don't, you know, attract as much attention in terms of like footage online. We'll throw a few rocks in here to decorate this. There seems to be some rocks in the exhibit. These rocks all look the same. Well, whatever. There we go. Deinonychus. I clicked off of multiple fossils. Very cool. Alright. This won't be really enough to get us there, I don't think, but maybe we can find a few other things, and that'll get it to work. And if not, I could always just end the park without technically formally meeting 5 stars. We're very close, so... Is it the same goddamn feeder? Why is it always this feeder? I'm gonna double assign to this station. I also need maintenance. A little bit better positioned, and there. What the fuck? What in the fuck? How? Wait, oh, the maintenance post. Why did it do that? That's fucking obnoxious. Did this one do that too? No. So why did this one completely, like, mess up the path? Yeah. Weird. Well, I don't actually need this one anymore with the other one over there. Turns out. Why is this all kinds of fucked? Surely they can't actually get up this. Weird. This is being weird too. I think it's fine. Maybe? Huh. Alright, more fossils. 22 and 78. Good to go. Hopefully that's all we need. Five pages of Oshiraptor. Do we have a good sign? That's all I'm looking for. Wetlands pack signs. Generic ass signs. You put all that information in there and you spell theropod with an A. Unfortunate. Hey Bonnie, welcome to the stream. You know, some zoos let animals, like I was at one with some bird, I think it was a peacock, like let the animals out. Oh yeah, like free roaming. Yeah. Yeah, for animals that are endangered, like a peacock, sure. A rex, not so much. Alright, we'll put this little info board here. And then we're going to have to fix it. Because they made a spelling error, and I can't allow this. I'm just going to have to do one of those, and we're going to have to do one of these. Boom. I've improved it by 10%. Are goldfish are blue? Are they supposed to be, or are they out of breath? That doesn't really work very well here visually. Okay, we'll just put a few random autumnal trees right there. Sure, why not? Squirtle flavor? Strange.
Damage over here.
Alright, 2 red wolves. I think the first one's probably the reddest. Alright, these are our red wolves. 1 male, 1 female. Sonora and Calcarana on both for maximum redness. Cranking up the humble social. If the button will respond, there it goes. And sticking them in the pen. Well, after they're done cooking, of course. Let's look at Dunkliestes signs, maybe. Can I just search Dunkel? No, I cannot just search Dunkel. I have to search the whole word. The dunk tank. There should be like a good sign because we have the cutout. Like that should lend itself really well to having a good sign made. Just gotta find somebody who's made it. Yeah, something like this, but for like, you know, dunk specifically. Age of Fish. That one's pretty elaborate, but I don't hate it. Yeah, running into a dunk in the ocean would be pretty bad. That would be Danger Town. That is a big sign. I think that's too big. That's very intrusive. Yeah, usually if you run into a Dunkliestes, things have gone very wrong. Devonian Devil. Okay. Little dramatic. This one's got ages, but it's not, it's either a spelling error or it's not English. Judging by the A with a little thing over it, it might be French or something. Why is the A extra big? Is it possible we could see another Devonian species? Yeah, I don't know. It's certainly possible, but probably not likely. None of these are quite what I want. Maybe I actually take the, maybe I do take... Oh, wait, is this... Maybe this one might work. This one's smaller. Let's say otherwise, maybe I have to peel off the main sign part. Oh yeah, that's good. The dunk is supposed to just be kind of a stand-in for some aquarium animals, just some generic fish. Nothing in particular. It's specifically, it's Amazonia, which is kind of just like an indoor South American exhibit with some random fish, and maybe there were some birds and some other stuff in there. It's all kind of, you know, mixed together in kind of one greenhouse-like exhibit. For the purpose of this park, it seemed like a place to put in just like a fish as a more of a placeholder than anything.
Heading to collect the asset.
Oops. All right, So we don't have any food in here yet. We don't have a ranger station in yet. No, I did put one in. And I did assign a team, yes. I forget if these guys are goat or meat. I think they're goat, right?
Asset has been collected.
No, they are in fact meat. Okay, maybe I'll put it by the actual fence. Why is everything wetland? Everything's always wetland. Every single animal in this game. I actually need a lot of wetland. I prefer puddles. Dry land sucks. I mean, I guess that's fair.
Asset delivered.
Sure. Alright, we got our 2 red wolves in. Unfortunately, Deinonychus, like too many animals in the game, is a heavy wetland need, which makes the exhibit just another bog, but at least it works. It's a functional exhibit. We're running out of space. We got to compress stuff, is what it is. So, the first one is Redford, a very creative name for a red wolf. Redford, the red wolf. And the other one is Kiawa, which is a complete opposite vibe of Redford, because they're not very themed names. But alright. And that puts us up to 11161. We're still a few hundred appeal shy. What am I going to do about that? How many dryos do I need to make that up? Probably too many. I'll have to think about that. How's my day been? Pretty good. No problems. Ooh, what about attractions? I could maybe, like, squeeze out some appeal from attractions. Plus 100. Otherwise, if we were doing some dryos... These are 17. Yeah, I mean, it'd take way too many dryos to get there. Okay, what other attractions are in this zoo? Yeah, this may not be the last stream because I need to go soon. But it's the last meaningful stream. We might do like a short one. Or I might just put in some final like details on my own and not even stream it. I don't know yet. But there's a little bit more I would like to sort out. Squirt zone. That sounds questionable. Do we need any more bathrooms, by the way? Nope, 100%. So there could be like a water attraction over here. What do we even have? Right, because they're unfucking labeled. I don't even know what we have. Is one of these supposed to actually be like a water park type thing? That's a climbing wall. At a smoothie shop? We've got a few different shops. Just trying to figure out if any of these work for okay, VR. Work for any attractions that are actually conceptually in the real zoo. Okay, I mean, that's something wet. I could also put like an aquarium over here as part of like this area. What is this building? Let's chuck this over here. It's a spa is the other one. I mean, I guess it can be a spa. Yeah, these buildings are so poorly implemented. They're just like thrown in without any thought or effort into how they're going to be presented in this game. I could put it here. It really should be like here, but then there's this hill. I guess I can just compress this hill more. Maybe that's the play. And relative to the... So it should be on the other side of the cafe. So this should move down. Like to here. And then the, this should be next to it. Why are we doing this? Why you gotta be difficult, JWE? That's kind of what this is. Okay, so I can rename this. So this should be the squirt zone, which is just unfortunate. But that is what it is called. Okay. And then, yeah, this is probably fine here, like it is, I would say. And then we had the theater. Which is... not labeled on this map. Where did I identify this theater? Maybe I saw this on the actual Google Maps overview. There's definitely a theater. I just don't remember where in the hell I got the positioning and like name of it. Smithsonian Zoo Visitor Center Theater. Yeah, there. Next to the Panda Store. So I guess we could just call it a theater. Which I already called it a theater. Perfect. Okay. We'll just call this the store. This is the Panda Store, apparently. If I believe the map. So it'll be the Chungking Store, because we're using Chungkings as stand-ins for pandas. Okay, 1,161. Wait, is this not... Does this not actually work for providing appeal? Or was that 1,160?
Your attraction is currently closed.
I mean, it does say dinosaur appeal. I've possibly made a small minor discovery, which is that this thing here doesn't actually count for dinosaur appeal. 11,161 appeal. We activate this, and it actually doesn't change this number, which is interesting. Okay, let's check it one more time. 11161. We can even delete it. 11161. Do these do anything in this game? Are these like non-functional actually? If we go to economy, total appeal 7716. That's the visibility factored in. There's like almost no way to tell. Entertainment attractions 3 plus 300. Okay. So they're counting here, maybe. Yeah, they are counting. But they don't count for your actual star rating. So they don't help me get this park properly to 5 stars, unfortunately. So, once again, I'll have to find another solution. And I don't know what that solution is, because I really, really have run out of space. And animals. I don't really have anything else on my list that I can add. I mean, let's say I like bobcats, but like, where am I going to put those? I did have them on the list, but it's not going to help me because they're going to be like 50 more appeal. It's not going to get anywhere. Like, I could try putting them in over here, but... $33 appeal. I could see how many are in the park. Three bobcats. It's another 100 appeal. Ollie, Cheese, and Yoda. That's pretty funny names. Yeah, let's do it. Well, where does that get us? Let's think about it. Another 100, and then we still need 250. Where could I get 250 appeal? A dunk was 178. I could try to find something to put here. Like across from Amazonia. What would this possibly be? Like, there's the kids' farm, which is like cows, chickens, donkeys, goats, and pigs. Which isn't exactly, you know, standard zoo fare, but... Oh, the bobcats are actually down here. Kinda. They could go here, actually, maybe. Okay, so if I put the bobcats in here, and then I can still put something else down here, which would be potentially kids farm type stuff. Bobcat would be morose, I think. Morose and Trepidus. I think that's a decent fit. Cows, chickens, donkeys, alpaca, goats, and pigs. Moros is the little tyrannosaur. Tyrannosaurid or Tyrannosauroid. I don't remember exactly which precise classification it is. Yeah, we do have goats. We have literal goats in the game, that's true. These little guys are the morose. These little tiny tyrannosaurids. I could do, like, Lokis or Nasudos for, cows or something. These are 68 appeal. So if I have 3 bobcats, that's plus 99. That's 250 left. So I need like 5 Nasudos or something. That's a lot. Well, there's not many other good options. I could also do compies as chickens. Throw a few of those in there. We could put down like a proper red barn for like the farm area. Maybe that's the play. I think that is the play. All right, I think we got to wrap this stream up though because I got to get going soon. So let's do a little. Let's get some research sent out and then we'll end the video. And we'll do another stream or something on Monday, a short one maybe to finish this up. I think that's what we'll have to do. Alright, I am kind of determined to get this park properly to 5 stars. So to that end, we need a few more animals. We can use Morose as bobcats. There's 3 bobcats in the park. We probably got a perfect little spot to sneak these guys in their own exhibit. It's going to be pretty compact, but if it's just 3 little bobcats living their life, that's probably perfectly fine. In terms of other animals we need, there is a petting zoo farm type area in the zoo, and we could do that. So we could have a few Nasudos as stand-ins for cows, mix in maybe a few compies for chickens, and like go from there. Try to figure out what we need to make it viable. So let's research Nasudo. And we don't have like a large ceratopsia in the park either, so it kind of works in that sense to add a little bit to the vibe. So we might as well do that. Okay, stopping the video. We'll finish the rest of that video on Monday, and I'll stitch the 2 recordings together. I could get a thumbnail, because I think this is going to be the most interesting exhibit. So let's maybe grab that quick. I don't know if I want the moat in the shot, maybe. Maybe just something like that's fine enough if something else doesn't come up next time. Alright, yeah, I'm going to karaoke, but I may only be a spectator. Saving off the screenshot. Alright, and then I'll catch you guys later. Monday bonus stream. That is the current plan. No stream tomorrow as a reminder because